Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Let me get my book over here. Oh, okay. I'll call the regular meeting to order. This is a special time for this meeting, so let's get moving. The Pledge of Allegiance, Santa. Jason, Farrell, would you lead the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The reason we had that delay is we had chat on the phone. It was repeat word for word. All right, roll call. Mr. Sigmund, you're with us? Sure. Thanks, sweetheart. Mr. Howell. Here, sir. We're all presidents. I want to thank our Bob for serving the coffee today.
Not wrong, buddy.
That was funny. All right. Let's move right on. Do we have any, any communications, correspondence or anything? Nobody want to speak? All right.
No, we don't have any communications, and I don't believe anybody here wants to speak.
How are we going to get our special guest on?
He's actually on there. David, you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, everybody hear him okay?
Yeah, he's from BHM CPA Group.
Yes, he's going to go over the audit report for the fiscal year ended on June 30th, 2024. So the floor is yours, David.
All right, thank you guys. Well, if you just look at the draft copy that you have there, page 1 is our opinion letter. And those first 2 paragraphs there will show that you had an unmodified opinion on your audit report, which is the type of opinion that you want. Then if you get down in there, page 8 is your financial statements followed by your footnotes. And this year you were a single audit due to the project you had going on. So on page 40 was your CFA, followed by the GAGIS and single audit letters. And there is a schedule of findings on page 51, which is a part of the single audit. It has to be put in there, even though in your audit report there were no findings. You'll just see there on page 52, it says none noted. About our process, we do sampling based on materiality, so we don't look at every single transaction. We just look at enough transactions to deem that we have tested controls appropriately. That's basically the spiel that I have. Do you guys have any questions for me?
David, are you going to submit this to the clearinghouse by the due date?
Yes, absolutely. I have it partially uploaded already. Our partner Tim is going to sign on that potentially this afternoon, and then we'll shoot an email to Jason to finalize that submission.
Great.
Yeah.
What I mean by the clearinghouse, he has to upload it to the federal government when you have a single audit.
Our general manager provided us with a copy of this in advance by email, so we're kind of scanning through it. We've already read it. At least I hope we all read it. And with no significant findings or even findings of concern, it seemed like it was a pretty decent audit.
They did a good job.
Yeah. And I don't know what kind of questions we'd ask because it's pretty much covered in the book here. And we always appreciate having the accountants or people who do the audit with us, because if we do have questions, you know, we don't have to really do our manager, then to the person, and then back and forth. So we get a chance to talk to the CPA people.
Do we need to take action?
Yes, you'll need to.
I'll make a motion to approve the audit report.
Is there a second to that? Okay, it's moved and seconded. Chad, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Oh. Okay. Then we're ready to vote on this. All in favor of accepting and filing this CPA audit? signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. And thank you very much for joining us. We felt it would be brief. And you have a good day and a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, guys. You all have a good day and a happy Thanksgiving as well.
Good enough.
Thank you, David,
All right, let's move. Since Chad's on the phone, we've got that time thing.
and good job, Jason. for-
Yes, Jason.
Thank you.
Good job, Jason.
Thank you.
Anything we have to vote on officially with approving bills or anything, I'm gonna move them up to the first part of the meeting. Is there anything?
The rest of the meeting should go very fast. So you can just zip right through, you can do the minutes and,
Because I noticed we don't have the Thrasher people here, different.
right,
people.
I just got
reports.
I just gotta read this real quick and
Okay,
zip right through.
well, I'll follow your lead, so let's get started then.
Okay, ready for the reading of the approval of the minutes.
Oh, okay. Approval of minutes. What's your
I'll make
pleasure?
a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, is
I
there a
second
second?
that.
It's been duly seconded. Any questions, discussions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I need to put my glasses on, so I skipped over that. Okay, let's move on.
All right, we done the audit report. I was hoping to have the bulk water station quote for you today. It just came in this morning and Clyde is digesting it. Looks like from the prices that we got back, we're probably gonna have to bid it out, but I'll have more at our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. All right, the Chestnut Street water line replacement project. I got an update here from Steve. He couldn't be here today because they had a function at Thrasher. So he sent me an email this morning, give us an update on Chestnut Street, and it reads, I worked with Jason Farrell to divide out the cost of replacement of the 16-inch water line for accounting purposes only. So Jason needed that broken down. So him and Steve got that broken down earlier this week. So the final check was picked up by the contractor this morning. So they're paid. The only thing coming to them is retainage. So that'll be the next pay requisition that comes to you all.
Just Green River.
For Green River.
Okay.
Green River responded in an email to Doug and myself on 11/15 that they feel they're still due additional payment for unforeseen conditions. We addressed that last time. We feel differently on that. And
So
we'll
that's
work-
under discussion.
Yeah, we're discussing that internally with the contractor.
Mhm.
I will, when I say this is coming from Steve, we'll prepare a change order after the holidays. That defines the payment that the Clarksburg Water Board approved at the last board meeting. So what you all approved last week, he's gonna take that and do a change order that you will have to approve on the fourth, December the 4th. Closing out this project, it's just a formality. And he says, of this change order, it's gonna include, the board approved $125K for the area in question at the last board meeting. And this oversimplifies, but at least essentially approved payment as follows. Remember the slip line for $48,000. The Green River Group's expense in the failed drill attempt when they had the equipment and the guy down there for the 3-4 weeks. And then the remaining balance of that, which is around $47K, for the invoice for the subcontractor for the failed drill. And
For a total of 125.
for a total of 125. Because in the original budget, it was 125 from point A to point B.
Right.
You all felt it was fair, and I feel it was more than fair to give that 125 for them to pay all
It was
expenses
one
incurred.
turnkey project for 125. That's what we agreed to.
Anything over and above that is borne by the contractor,
And that's where we stood on
and
this.
that's where we stand. We stand
Paul, do you
firm
have a
on that,
question on that?
No, sounds good.
and we stand firm on that.
Chad, any questions on?
Yeah, I would stand firm on that.
I would like to issue a change order for defining the cost due to the urgency of the process. The last pay requisition payment was made under the HDD item of the 125. He's just reiterating, that's how we paid it, was under that line item. This change order will break down the payment as described above. And that's all he has to say. That's all the update for the,
And that'll fulfill our side of the contract.
that's correct.
All right. We don't have to vote on that. You're just bringing
No,
us
no,
up to date.
that's-
We've already voted on it.
Right, so the next thing is the next thing is the phase 3A. The project closing date is scheduled for December the 5th at 2 p.m. at the Thrasher office. You will be required to be there.
I gotta sign some.
I have a meeting in Charleston that day, so I won't be able to be there, but you're the one that signs everything, so.
Okay.
And he also stated there's an unrelated matter, but it kind of relates to this, that the Clarksburg Sanitary Board has identified a failed sewer line in Edgewood along Route 19 north of Clarksburg. Sanitary Board would like to discuss this area with us prior to the award on the 5th. Okay, says there, it says there are tight constraints with Route 19. There's railroad tracks and 3 water lines and the existing sewer line. You probably know where I'm talking about.
Right there at the railroad tracks coming up out of the sewer plant.
And it says that they want to discuss this after Thanksgiving holiday. So we'll need to follow up with them and schedule a meeting with them to discuss that.
January 5th?
December the 5th.
Oh, I thought you said January. I have to check.
No, it says award, it's by the award date of December the 5th.
Hey, what was the Thrasher date again? I thought it was
December the 5th
at 10,
at 2
2 o'clock.
in the afternoon at Thrasher's office.
I knew it was the 5th, but I didn't know the time.
So there's looks like there's an issue there, but we can work it out internally with the sanitary board and try to work that out over there. So. And there is no, so what we have next is Snake Hollow Road. This is updated, but I got Tim's email right after I got this one. So the preliminary title opinion is complete and under review right now because he has on here, once the preliminary title opinion is completed, what's actually in a draft form. Tim sent it out this morning for comment. Once he receives that back, fully executed by Tim Stranko, it will be submitted to Roger Earl and Ryan Jackson at the DEP AML, and we're going to request submission to bid. Okay, we're going to request permission to bid, rather. So once we get that in, hopefully we can go straight to bid and get this project underway for those folks out there at Snake Hollow Road. So, and
It's
there's
been a long
there's-
time coming. I'm sure those people will be relieved.
yeah, 20+ years. There is no update on Second Street Pump Station and no update on the PTHM removal project. So that brings us down through our reports. The board members, do y'all have any reports?
Don't have any reports from events coming up, VA hospital,
Yes,
things like that, the signing.
and I'll remind you all. when we-
And our special meeting dates, we changed our dates for the next month.
Right,
You might remind people when it's going to be
yeah,
again,
December the 4th,
or December 4th.
December 4th at 3 o'clock, and then December the 18th at 11.
o'clock. AM.
Yes, 11 a.m.
Bobby, you guys did a good job down there. I know they worked through the snow and rain. Finish that job, looks good.
They're actually down there today putting a couple lights across inside that building, run the electric into the R-pole building. And they're gonna set it on a timer, kick on at like 5:30 in the evening and go off at 7:30 in the morning whenever it gets daylight.
Nice.
That way, the plant guy, when he goes down to check whatever he does tonight, he can look and see in the building and see if anybody's camping out or anything.
Are there lights down there where the bulk pickup is?
Yes.
Because I thought they were, I drove by the other night, it's kind of not real late, but there was somebody down there getting water and it was pitch dark.
Every time I drive by, there was a truck down there at this point.
You know, there's not one right overhead, but there's enough light coming from the raw water and stuff like that.
The area is fairly well lit up.
Just a couple things. We need to set dates for the neighborhood meetings. As you all know, that our lead service line replacement plan and customer service line material notification letters went out. They're hitting people's mailboxes this past week. We've been getting phone calls. Some of the questions we're receiving is, when are the neighborhood meetings? The letter went to the printer earlier this month, but it didn't get out till later, so we're kind of through November.
They look at the date on the letter.
Even though the letter says November, we ran out of time,
We're gonna do it in December?
so we're gonna do it in December. And the dates that I am proposing, I'd say, after talking to Mary Lamine with Thrasher, they're gonna help us, get the word out, get the postcards out to people. It's just hammering out Monday, December the 9th, Tuesday, December the 10th, and Wednesday, December the 11th. I know those are good days for Chad, is the first.
Yeah, it works well.
Well, I mean,
It's just to get them.
let's think about something though. We're talking about locations. How do we know the locations are available?
Right, we're.
And I'd like to be involved in that. I've already talked to people.
So those are the dates, and I'm gonna let you take off with those.
Yeah.
And if one's available,
We may switch.
we may swing them around.
We can work around that.
So locations, we'll leave that up to what we get.
Yeah.
But those are the dates.
Yes,
And if for some reason we can fall on the next week, we have to.
but we'll work that out, right?
Have we worked out our agreement with Thrasher yet on how they're handling this?
Yeah, we'll talk about it in executive session.
Okay, so we have it.
Yes.
We have it.
Come on, give me those dates again. I'm gonna write it on this.
December
Ninth.
9th, 10th, and 11th.
We don't have a time frame yet, though.
No, we don't have,
We'll start at 6 o'clock.
Okay, 6 o'clock.
okay. We'll see what we can do. That's pretty fast agenda to having things produced and you kind of hand out pieces. and
They
everything.
assure me they'll work next week to get them out.
So one of these dates will be in Northview.
Yes.
Northview, Staley, and downtown.
We'll just, whatever dates, wherever we can get, we'll fill it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll be at 6 o'clock. Yep. Yeah, and another question they're asking is, when is my service line going to be replaced? Outside of the locations we're doing now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work with Thrasher and try to get a schedule so people know, hey, I'm looking at 2026, 2027 by street, and get that out there for people so they can kind of see. So they're calling in here, they can just look online and figure out.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be approximate. There's a lot of caveats to that, funding and design.
The weather delays, this
Yeah.
thing, that thing. They may tell you we're gonna have your street done on this particular day, maybe 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
You never know.
So we'll try to at least put a year out there that we're hoping this year we'll have your service line replaced. So, try to work through all that. So the last thing is that, we sold the two 24-inch easy valves.
Yes, you got rid of it.
Yes, we got rid of those, sold to the city of Charleston for $35,000.
Great.
So,
Oh, great.
a big thank you goes out to Core Main for helping us sell
Good
them. So we got those out of our inventory because they're no good to us and they just sat down there on the shelf. Not many people in this state have 24-inch lines. It's us, Morgantown, and Charleston. That's just about it. So not many people have that size of line. So luckily we were able to get, I mean, we took a little bit of a loss on it, but at least we gained some money out of them. So thankful for that.
I'm sure these people attend these meetings. Of course, if they don't make it, we'll be corresponding with them, either direct mail or different things or whatever.
Yes.
And maybe an interactive site. Because then if I lived on the street, I'd want to know about when they're going to do it, number one. And my other concerns would be, how do I get in and out of my house? What disruptions are going to be there? How long? Just standard stuff anybody would want. And that's what we're going to be covering.
Yeah.
And what I need to do, that's what affect my property. So they should be a good meeting. All right. Any questions of that?
Bobby, you have anything else to report?
We're just cleaning up everything, and then next week they're gonna go and, all these empty lots that have meter wells, we're gonna pull them and fill them in, put dirt over them, grass seed. Other than that, they're in the sidewalk, we're gonna fill them up with gravel, take the ring off, and just concrete over them. And there's a shit ton of them out there.
Saw guys working, putting a hydrant down on Pike Street the other day, down by.
Right there, at Sycamore and Pike.
Sycamore, yeah.
Yeah, it's been out for a long time, we finally got the parts to fix it, so
Yeah, saw them working.
that's what we did.
Neil?
Just having, the lead and copper machine, we got, all the guys got all their testing done. I looked over, Chris has looked over it, has sent to Cliff. Cliff is gonna put everything in a spreadsheet for everybody. And after that, a couple little, I think, a few little things to do, and then he said, ready to, file sometime in January.
File to get certified.
Yes.
Okay.
Because with the
And for
holidays,
people who are listening, watching at home, because we do have people watching, we're talking about our testing program
Yes.
for heavy material water, lead, so on. We've got our state-of-the-art type testing lab. We're just waiting for certification because we'll be able to test for, like we do right now, we test for other communities and industry and people, their water, they bring it here. Now we can go with the lead, copper, the heavy metals, whatever. So that's really a feather in our cap at this place here. Don't you think so, Paul?
Yeah.
I mean, not many people offer it. Rather than us sending it out and paying a lot of money for it,
less and
and
less
half the
now,
delay of
that's what I
time,
did.
we're going to offer this to our customers and so on, and be a more expedient process. We're just waiting on certification.
Yep, and then
So
your
that's what we're doing, folks.
TTHM got all those.
Yes, we're all done with those.
Yeah, so they completed their TTHM sampling. You
Yeah.
sent those out yesterday.
Yes,
All
So,
right.
got all that completed, so.
pretty much yearly samples are done, other than one little section for ball 1st of December at my back tee, so ready to start a new year.
Jason, have any more?
Okay. I know you, had some training earlier this week.
Yeah, we had, Bobby and Larry come out to do some training with the, purchasing order system and along with Gil. So hopefully we're getting right, we won't be starting that, let them start in the test portion of the software in December. And they're gonna be required to do it and test, but also bring up they're gonna do it the way they do it now. And
They're
then
gonna
also,
do it. We're gonna do the paper way. We're gonna do electronic.
yes, and that way they will do that for a couple weeks and then we'll push it into the live data.
Good deal,
and
Jason.
get
That's
them
really
going.
good.
So.
I think as we move along, we're getting more professional. We're always professional, but even more so.
Yeah, try to streamline things.
And make it smart and
efficient.
easy. Our Mr. Attorney, you have anything to say before we go into any?
No, sir.
executives? Okay.
No, sir.
Anybody else?
I just have, just one thing, I just ran into a customer at 101, Rodney, and again, I appreciate you guys, doing the water sample, for her concern. As of Sunday, and you may have already sent the results, she just said she hadn't received the results of her water. When Bobby went out there a couple weeks ago.
Well,
Jason's got the note.
Jason's got the notes. He'll cover that. Okay.
Rodney, is that Rodney Avenue?
Rodney.
Rodney
Yeah,
Street.
what Rodney Avenue. Davis.
He'll follow with it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Yep, taken care of, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now, we have a quick executive session.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Our meeting is concluded for general purposes in our regular meeting. We're going to have to go into an executive session. And we're going to try to cover that while we have our Chad, our member, on the phone too.
I'll make a motion to go to executive session.
Okay.
A
this-
second.
Okay, this is under attorney-client privilege. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so our attorney, our manager, and our board will be present.